Hi guys and girls, I'm Obsidian Ant and welcome back to Elite Dangerous. Today we're taking a look around the edges of inhabited space at a few new things Thargoid focused. And straight away you can see this is a heavy ammonia system, ammonia being a Thargoid homeworld, so it's quite likely Thargoid activity was bound to be seen around here somewhere. What was unexpected though is the nature of that. Now yet again it's just another crashed ship. Some may say it's just a prop, but nonetheless it's still quite interesting. It's not the ship that we've seen so far. Up until now we've seen what players have endearingly called the flower ships. This one is more octagonal, and it looks very much like the old Thargoid ships from the previous games. Now it may or may not be related directly to the Thargoids we're seeing at the moment, but what we can see here is that it is significantly smaller. One thing that is worth bearing in mind though is that the flower ships we first come into contact with nearly a year ago now, when they were first reported as crash sites in the various locations around the galaxy, and just maybe that is exactly what's going on here, and this one will turn up as a fighter ship at some point in the future. Who knows? Unfortunately, I don't know who originally discovered this particular site, so I can't give out the name or credit it to anyone, but if you do know, then leave it in the comment section below and I'll be sure to add it into the video description. There's also the planet location here as well as the coordinates if you want to come and visit this site for yourself. Now in a completely different location altogether, there's something rather unexpected happened with the barnacles. They have now grown, they have now multiplied, and some of the sites now contain many more barnacles than they once did. So this here is in the Hyades system, not too far away from where the Gnosis jumped to, the Canon research ship, strangely enough. And on this lone planet here, some 100,000 light seconds away from the entry point, you can find one of these so-called barnacled forests. On approach, it's quite easy to see it once you do have the coordinates because there's this mist-filled area, and as you get closer, you can see it seems to be forming some rather strange, but perhaps not all too unfamiliar structure here. What's clear at this point then is that the barnacles certainly grow into something else. And some have suggested that from this vantage point at least, it looks not too dissimilar to one of the Thargoid bases. And as I pass over here, one thing you will notice straight away is the presence of scavengers here. And the only other location we've seen them in so far is indeed at the Thargoid bases. Now I don't know what they're doing here, they just seem to be sniffing around, picking up some of this green goo, or maybe just simply attending to the structures around here. Beyond that, there's nothing particularly new going on around here. However, if you are of the mind to come and get resources from barnacles, then you could do much worse than come into a site like this. There's now an abundance of such resources here, so it's pretty much a paradise for collecting as many materials as you could actually dream for. And a little flyover of the surface here gives us a very clear indication of just how many spires are around. There seems to be between 20 or 30 barnacles at these types of sites, and from time to time you will find that a Thargoid will show up here and come and do its little thing over the top of one of these barnacles. Whether it's refueling from them or whether it's feeding them, we don't yet know. Unfortunately, none of these Thargoids showed up for me, so I was unable to witness it. Now one thing I'm very keen to see is combat over the surface of a planet with a Thargoid. And seeing as they do show up at these locations, I suspect it's something that will happen very, very soon, if it hasn't already. Now if you want to come out and visit this location for yourself, you can see the coordinates in the video description. I believe the first of these such forests was discovered by Commander Pan Piper. One of the things you've probably noticed around here almost straight away is the quality of the fog. Very, very nice ambience around here. In fact, so much so that it could almost possibly be mistaken for an atmospheric world. So as we look around the galaxy here, it's certain that things are evolving and things are changing, albeit perhaps at a slower pace than many people would have liked or have expected, but at last things do seem to be happening. And here once again, as we fly out of that fog zone, you can see just how the ambience and the environment actually changes. Meanwhile, back in the Pleiades sector, it seems that ships of war are not the only types of vessels that Thargoids are now targeting. Again, you can see this system listed in the video description, and right nearby to the station at the Oracle, there is a bulk cargo transport. This one is a Megaship. Now, we don't know what it was carrying. Maybe it was carrying something relevant to the war against the Thargoids, or maybe it was just a regular cargo ship. Either way, it come under attack by Thargoids and is now stranded here abandoned. There are some rescue ships present, 3 of them in fact, you can see them just down there. And I didn't notice any Thargoid vessels around. I don't know if on occasion one will make an appearance here, but as yet I haven't seen anything quite like that. Now there are a few bits and pieces scattered around here, cargo canisters and whatnot, but one thing in particular, there is a ship's log here. Flying over to it, you can use your data link scanner to see what is there. Unfortunately, it's a little bit on the short side, but if there's any doubt still remaining, it does give us a bit of indication as to what has actually happened here. And here you can see some of those other cargo canisters, various bits and bobs in, nothing that we're going to be too worried about coming and collecting. But it's the ship's log that we're most interested in checking out here, and we're nearly in range. Now for anyone who is unaware, the hyperdictions are still occurring. That's where you're pulled out of hyperspace. When that happens now, it's usually 2, maybe even 3 Thargoids that are present, and on occasion they've been attacking commanders completely unprovoked. So the Thargoids can certainly be very aggressive, at least some of them. So here we are, let's see what this message says. We've tried hailing them, sir, but we don't even know if they can hear us, let alone understand us. We have no choice, we have to abandon the ship. So there again is the concept that the Thargoids are very alien aliens. So alien in fact that they may not even understand a human communication. And this is something that Frontier have mentioned more than once. The ability perhaps to not even understand how the intelligence actually functions within an alien race. It's unfortunate then that our main focus is on attacking the Thargoids rather than attempting to communicate with them. Let's see how this unfolds. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls next time.